later. You never know what's coming, especially in this crowd. So, I grew up on Staten Island, and a lot of people don't go to Staten Island, but there are a couple of historic sites on Staten Island. Yes, and there's actually something called Richmond Town, which is sort of a mini Williamsburg, where there's some buildings from the 1700s and people dress up in their Hamilton garb, and they have this big thing called the Fall Festival that we would always go to as a family, and people dress up in their costumes and they make like homemade candles and cider in a press, and there's crafts and all that, and it's a great time. It's always a great family trip getting ready for Thanksgiving into Christmas. And I remember we piled into Mom's. Mom had a 1967 yellow Mustang convertible. The classic, yes. She used to get her hair all teased up, put a kerchief on, and speed around. She was like Anne Margrock in the Flintstones. That's Taffy driving down, beep, beep. Come on, Anne. You don't know, you got good for me, whatever she said. I don't know. Anyway, we all piled in and we were going to Richmond Town, and she asked how school was going for me and my sister, and I kind of made a face. I think I was in the 5th grade, and well, she said, well, darling, dear, what's the matter? And I said, well, Mom, everyone at school says there's no Santa Claus. And she says, well, what do you think? And I said, look, I know there's a Santa Claus. So every year we made like dozens of, remember Spritz cookies? You make like a butter dough and you stick it in a metal gun and then you push the thing and it would put out like a wreath and a tree. Remember those? Yeah. Yeah, I loved them. They were great. It was in Better Homes and Gardens, so of course we had to do it. And you dyed the dough like red and green and put sprinkles. And we would make a whole tray of those, put those out for Santa. They were all gone by morning. We put out a glass of milk, it was all gone by morning. And then Dad, before we went to bed, would put out a glass of whiskey. It was all gone by morning. He was a little more lit than a tree, if you know what I mean. So I knew for sure that there was a Santa Claus. And Mom turned around to me and she said, well, darling, that's all that matters, because we all make our own magic in life. I believe in Santa Claus, like I believe in love. I believe in Santa Claus and everything he does. Wipe that question from your mind. Yes, he does exist. Just like love, I know he's there, waiting to be missed. I believe in Santa Claus, but there came a time I thought I was just too old for such a childish rhyme. He became a dream to me. Then one Christmas night, he stood beside my bed with his beard of white. So you're too old for Santa Claus, he said with a smile. Then you're too old for all the things that make a life worthwhile. What is happiness but dreams? And do they all come true? Look at me and tell me, dear, what is real to you? So just believe in Santa Claus, like we believe in love. Just believe in Santa Claus and everything he does. Wipe that question from your mind. Yes, he does exist. Just like love, I know he's there, waiting to be missed. just like love, I know he's there, waiting to be met.